Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to your weekly tarot reading. As always, just take what resonates with you and leave the rest with me. Of course, I just clear my deck and shuffle, and as I'm shuffling, I'm just asking my guides to please give me a reading for this week for your highest good, whatever that may be, and we'll see what comes up. Right, one more. Okay, so let's see. So first we have the Ten of Wands, covered by the Four of Swords, Queen of Coins, the King of Wands, the Two of Coins, the Chariot, Faith, the Moon, our favorite card, King of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the King of Cups, the Knight of Coins, the Sun, and we ended off with the Page of Cups. Of course, we just have our extra information cards on the side that we will get into towards the end of the reading. Right. So let's get into it. What does this all mean? So, as always, we start with the first card. We have the Ten of Wands over there. Now, this is the current path that you're on, or the current journey that you're on, aided by the Four of Swords. Right? I'll get into that now. So, this week has maybe started off a little bit rough for you. Maybe it's a result of last week going into this week, because last week we spoke about dealing with all of that chaotic environment, right? So this might be a result of that. So the Ten of Wands is all about, it's an overwhelming responsibility, kind of like a burden being placed on you. It's taking on too much. It feels quite crushing, if I can put it that way, right? And it's causing a lot of sleepless nights. It's causing your mind to race. It's causing the stress buildup. I know I've been feeling like that lately as well. I've been struggling to sleep. My mind's been racing, thinking about what I need to do the next day and the next day and the next day. So I don't know if that resonates with you either, but maybe there's that chaos from last week is now pouring over into this week, right? That makes sense to you. So what's important to know, still we have that Faith card coming up, along with the Queen of Coins and the Moon. Now, these three cards have come up in the last reading, as well as I think in the first reading as well. So faith is all about keeping that faith. When things get too much for you, when things get overwhelming and burdens keep piling up and you don't know what to do, is to constantly keep that faith, right? To ask for higher power, to ask for something greater than the situation, because the situation might be too big for you. To call on that guidance, knowing that you are still on the right path, and we'll get to it. You are still on the right path. It may be tough right now, but it does get better. Namely because of the Queen of Coins, right? The Queen of Coins, along with the faith, that light that comes from inside of you, it will alleviate some of those burdens. It will alleviate some of that stress. It will fulfill you again. The whole reason why you're doing this in the first place is to get to this position, right, where you can feel that satisfaction, that wealth, that abundance, that peace. But yet again, we are met with the Moon, right? So last week was all about dealing with the Moon, dealing with the shadow forms, the shadow parts of ourselves, dealing with those insecurities, dealing with those things that we don't want to see. It causes a lot of those burdens to come up, right? It causes a lot of those parts of ourselves to show that we don't really want to see, or maybe we've forgotten about. And that Moon shows us the ugly side. But if we are able to use our faith to push through those emotions, to push through those difficulties and those burdens, we can then feel the energy of the Queen of Coins, feeling that energy, that wealth, that abundance, that love for ourselves, and move past whatever is ailing us. The burdens that we're facing, the stress that keeps us up at night, it won't matter as much anymore, because we have faced our demons and we have succumbed. We have pushed past it. Then the King of Cups, the King of Wands, the King of Wands comes up. King of Wands dealing with those external things. So we have the Queen of Coins dealing with the internal, and we have the King of Wands dealing with the external. King of Wands, very masculine, very assertive, very, very loud, very proud, dealing with those external issues. Anything that comes your way that causes burdens, you have to get that assertiveness back into your life, where you are able to face it without feeling insecure about yourself without putting yourself in a position where you feel uncomfortable. Being assertive with yourself only comes from dealing with that darkness inside of yourself and finding that love within yourself. Once you feel insecure inside, you won't allow anybody outside to make you feel insecure again. So that's where that assertiveness comes in. So you first have to deal with those internal imbalances in order to gain that assertiveness. I think it's quite rare to get that assertive feeling from external resources. The best way to do it, the one that lasts, the one that stays forever, is the one that comes from inside. So I know it's hard, but trust me, once you've got it, it's not going to go away anytime soon. And of course, we have the chariot to go along with it. Now, the chariot allows you to move forward. It allows you to progress. You don't have to feel like you are regressing anymore. You don't have to be stuck in the past or stuck in that trauma or stuck in what happened before. Or I know, especially with me, when I do something that causes an insecurity, I can sit with that insecurity for 2 to 3 weeks. And then for 2 to 3 weeks, I feel stuck because I'm thinking about what I could have done, what I should have done, how I maybe could have done it better, and it eats me up inside. And then you don't progress anywhere. You stay stuck or you live in the past. The chariot helps you to move forward. So you deal with those internal imbalances. You gain that assertiveness to make sure that any other external burdens or external stresses can stay very far away from you. And then you use the energy of the chariot to move forward with your life, to go into the next phase of your life, to find your future, to find that abundance, to find that wealth. We have the King of Swords going forward. Moving forward from the chariot, we have the King of Swords. We have the Two of Coins. And we have the Eight of Cups. Now, the King of Swords is all about, now we talk about all the suits, right? We go from ace to king in every suit of the tarot deck. The king is at the top. Swords is all about your mental state. So once we have this internal balance of the Queen of Coins, we have the external assertiveness of the King of Wands, then we go to the King of Swords where we have that sharp mindset. We no longer will allow those things. The first thing to fall when we're dealing with insecurities is our mind. We start overthinking. We start thinking, oh no, I could have done this, could have done that, could have done this, and that's what eats up our heart. That's what eats up our emotions, right? And again, we were dealing with the Four of Swords right here. The Four of Swords being that driving force of keeping us up at night, constantly overthinking everything, to now moving to the King of Swords where we are stable as a rock. We are an impenetrable shield. Nothing will come through. Nothing will make us feel insecure. If anything does come through that makes us feel those insecurities, we will remember what we did, what demons we faced, what dark side we faced, what burdens we overcame, the assertiveness that we gained from all of those things, and move forward. Our mind will be stronger than ever. It's not just our soul, it's not just our external forces, but our mind as well will be that much stronger because of it. And we will finally gain our balance that we've been seeking, that wealth, that balance between the light and the dark, between the parts of us that we don't want to recognize and the parts of us that we cannot wait to become the future version of ourselves, right? We have that balance. And then we are met with the Eight of Cups. Now, none of this would have been possible without the Eight of Cups, because the Eight of Cups is this entire journey that you've been on from day one. It's the spiritual journey. It's this awakening. It's this emotional imbalance and chaos. But what's waiting on the other side is Shangri-La. It's peace beyond your wildest measures. It's the wealth that you've been seeking internally, externally, mentally, spiritually. It's all that you've been wanting. It comes from that Eight of Cups. But the Eight of Cups represents the journey. And the thing is, the journeys can last so many different times. I mean, there's been one-day journeys. There's been journeys that have lasted over a weekend, and then there's journeys that last a lifetime. But each and every journey has an exceptional reward waiting at the end of it, whatever that may be, whether it may be just your assertiveness that you gain from it. Then you start a whole new journey after that. Or if it may be that wealth that you've been seeking internally. Or if it may just be facing those dark sides of yourselves, those shadow aspects, those insecurities, and overcoming them. No matter what journey you are placed on, no matter what journey you take, releasing those burdens and gaining that stronger mindset, there's always something worth it on the other side. Sure, you have to go through a lot of chaos to get there, but it's always worth it. Trust me, I'm speaking from experience. Right, so Once we're dealing with our journey, once we get to the end of the journey, we are met with the King of Cups. We have the Queen of Coins, the King of Wands, the King of Swords, and the King of Cups. We have so many royals in our deck, and high royals, right? The King of Cups reaching that end state of our emotions. This journey that we've been placed on makes our emotions grow to a point where we are at our tip top, our rock solid, our impenetrable force, right? And that is what happens with this King of Cups. Right. So speaking of chaos, right? I live in a complex, so we just had the garden service come and clean up all the gardens from unit to unit that it had to, and it disrupted half of the reading. So apologies for the cut. But right, so now we move over to the next card, which is the Knight of Coins. So once we are able to get that King of Cups energy, that impenetrable force on our emotions, we get the Knight of Coins. That Knight of Coins allows us to progress once more. So we first go through all of this chaos. We get our faith strong. We get the King of Wands energy, that external forces, the King of Swords to help with our mindset, the King of Cups to help with our emotions, and then we get to the Knight of Coins, being able to move forward with our wealth. Now that we've able to actually find balance and we're able to find that strength inside and outside of us, we then move forward with the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Coins. We progress with our wealth. We are able to then move forward and share in our wealth. Now we look at these external cards a little bit, right? We have the Six of Coins over there, the Four of Coins, Six of Coins. The Six of Coins are able to share in that wealth, right? We're able to hand out all of these gifts, all of these lessons that we have learned along through all of this chaos that we've been going through, all of these strengths and rewards that we've gained through looking at our dark side, looking through those insecurities and going through all this. We can then share in all those well and gain new forms of emotion, a new form. Now we've finally gotten to the part where nothing can hurt us anymore, but that doesn't mean that we stop right there. We move forward with our lives, we progress, we get stronger, we get new challenges, we get new opportunities, we get new emotions that come up and that we have to deal with, challenging ones and rewarding ones, right? So we move forward with our lives, and that leads us to the Sun. The Sun represents that childlike energy inside of us, right? Once we're able to deal with all of those insecurities, we can then look at that child side, that child version of us with love, and use that childlike energy in our present, in our future, in our daily lives, where we can balance. Once more, we have the Two of Coins. We can balance those forms of wealth, right? We have the child version of ourselves that just wants fun and prosperity and just joy and overwhelming abundance of love and energy, and balancing that with that shadow aspect of the insecurities and shining light on that as well, right? We move forward with that. We are allowed to have fun. Even as adults, we're allowed to have fun. It is normal for us to have fun as well. But we gain that fun by first creating that barrier that external forces are not going to take that away from you. Internal forces are not going to tear that apart, right? We gain that joy and that overwhelming abundance of wealth once we're able to overcome all of these challenges. And that leads us once again to the Page of Cups. As I mentioned with the Ace of Cups, again, it's that new emotions, this new journey, this new outlook, this new version of yourself that you have to relearn all over again. Every journey starts somewhere and ends somewhere, but it always leads to the next journey, which will eventually get you to a new lesson, a new prosperity, new rewards. But from what I can see, it looks like this journey that you are currently on is coming to an end. You are reaching that end goal. You are reaching the sun, which is what your reward is for going through all of this chaos, through all of this shield creation, creating the King of Wands, of the assertiveness, the King of Swords, where nothing can stir your mind in any different direction. The King of Cups, the impenetrable force in the heart. The emotions aren't going to get battered too easily. It all leads up to the sun, where you are allowed to be an adult and still act like a child once in a while. Have fun with your life. That sets you up for the new journey that you're about to embark on. Page of Cups. I've always said that the page to me is a royal card, but it's one of the lower royals. It kind of, for me, represents that immaturity amongst the royals. The royals are always prim and proper. They know exactly what they're the face of royalty. They are the face of the kingdom. But then the page comes along and was like, what's up? Very immature, very playful, very boisterous. Paige is still at the top of its game because you've come through all of this. You can't just start all the way at the beginning again. You know what you're talking about a little bit, but this new journey sets you on a whole different course. And you do get to a point where you don't know anything anymore, but you have so much experience backing it up. That's why you become that Paige, right? And like I said, we'll look at all the other cards as well. We have the Four of Coins as well. Four of Coins is kind of like that treasure trove, that little bit you can see there. The coins are in a little bit of in a chest over there. So it's this whole journey that you're on unlocks that. It's all that wealth is trapped inside of a locked box, and going through all of this gives you the key to unlock it and obtain that wealth, to finally find it and keep it, or even safeguard it. Once you actually have that wealth, you put it back in the box, you lock it, you know it's safe. It's there, and you can access it whenever you want, right? And we have the Palace of Swords. That goes hand in hand with the King of Swords. It's a whole new mindset, a whole new temple of mental strength, a whole new repertoire of ways to think of things and how to deal with challenges as they come through your life, right? So hopefully that resonated with you, even just a little bit. Whatever didn't resonate with you, just leave with me. It might be for somebody else. But at the end of all of my readings, what I like to do is I like to pull out all the major arcana, which is the major life lessons that we learn. And we shall see what we get. So far, I think there's only 4, which is less than last week. So you don't need to know as much this week, which is great. Right. So we have these 4 over here. So we have faith. You can't do anything in life without having faith. There are too many things in life that are bigger than you. And you have to just accept that and realize that somebody's got your back, even if you can't see them. Your guides are there. Your higher self is there. Whatever religion you're a part of, your God is there with you. Have that faith. Keep that faith strong. Because it's going to help you deal with those shadow aspects of yourself. Those shadow aspects nobody can see. You can't just go to somebody and be like, oh, here's my insecurity. It's not something that's tangible. It's something that you feel. And sometimes when you're the only one feeling it and you're the only one seeing it, it can make you feel like you're alone in this. That's why when faith is with you, your guides are with you, that higher self is with you, they are able to see exactly what you see. And then you're no longer alone. They will help you get through those shadow aspects of yourself. And that will give you the chariot. It'll give you the strength to move forward. Once you're able to overcome those challenges, you use the chariot to move forward with your life. Look into the future. Look to the next journey. Constantly take those lessons and all of that faith along with you and move forward. Don't look back. Don't get stuck in the past. We look at the past just to deal with that moon, and then we move forward, taking the lessons along with us. And that leads us to the final card, which is the Sun. Overwhelming light, overwhelming abundance, joy, childlike joy in our adult self. Now that seems like, be childish. Do it. Go play video games, go play board games, act like a kid, sing out loud in the car, at the traffic lights or the robot, when people are next to you, sing. Britney Spears, whatever it may be, just sing along, roll your windows down, act like a kid, just have fun. That's the only way that anything in this world ever makes sense. So, if you like that video, please consider giving this video a like, subscribe for more videos to come, and I will see you in the next video.